Gospel goodies.
Gospel goodies. Gospel goodies.
This is gospel goodies.
Yo, yo.
Hey,
PJ, what up, man?
how are you?
What's
sir?
happening? What's happening? I'm good. How are y'all?
We are
Can you hear me?
good. Thank you for joining us. Yep, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you fine.
Perfect,
Great.
perfect.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
My
Yeah,
pleasure,
we're
man.
so excited. We've been literally rocking out to your song since last week. No lie, last week I had repeat for 2 hours, no exaggeration.
That joint is
That-
crazy.
That's love. That's love. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate that.
And then we're going to be playing it again tonight in our 10 o'clock new music hour. So we're excited for people to hear that again. Really dope song.
Super dope. Super dope.
So how are you holding up in this pandemic?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I managed to finish an album in this pandemic. So I think the way it came together, and all the artists that I have a part of it, it probably wouldn't have been as possible or as easy to get everybody together if people weren't home, and like and not traveling as much. You can imagine all these schedules of the people that I have on the album, like going crazy. But it worked out. So that the pandemic has been good for me, and I've of course had more time with family, which has been a plus for me as well, because I'm on that road quite a bit. So being able to shut down for a second and reset, it was welcomed from me. So it's been all right.
That's what's up. So
Yeah.
the gospel, according to PJ, comes out this week, right?
That's right. This Friday, man. Just a few days.
Right.
It's exciting.
Right. It's here. It's
Yeah,
here.
we here.
Christmas, right? The countdown is on.
Man, look, it might as well be Friday right now. We there.
You're not gonna sleep all week. But yeah, man. So listen, you have such a unique tie to gospel music. This is crazy, being your first gospel album.
Yeah.
What inspired you to jump into it?
Well, I think part of it was being clear about what my purpose and what my mission was as an artist, which was I think not to be just another gospel artist, in that sense. There was more I wanted to say, and I think my job, and I can't say that I knew it then. I was just one foot in front of the other, but as an R&B artist, I think it was important for me to be representation for artists in the mainstream who can still have a standard in their music, still feel the love through their music and the message through their music. So I think it took me a while to get that point across, and we've had some success with that. Just won a couple Grammys for the R&B albums and stuff. And I think it was just perfect time for me to now go to my roots and normalize that I can go from an R&B record to a gospel record and not be two different people. So I think it was just timing. I'm always just listening and staying open to whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing, and it just seemed like a perfect time. Okay, my bad.
That was Tamala Mann with Potter. We've got Gina Miller on the line. Gina Miller is the SVP and General Manager of E1, but her accolades don't stop there. Gina services on the St. Jude Urban Radio and Music Advisory Council. She's a Recording Academy board member, Harmonic South Strings Memphis board member, Claiborne Temple, the historic site of MLK sanitation strike in Memphis, board member and a co-founder of Nashville Music Equality. This past Thursday, E1 hosted a virtual experience for the 35th annual Stella Award show that included performances included Jonathan Nelson, Jabari Johnson, and more, along with a few surprises and guest appearances by actors and nominees like J.J. Harrison, John P. Key, Todd Delaney, Vaughn Alvarez, and more.
Yeah, Gina's definitely a huge inspiration, and her spirit is so genuine, and her love for art and music is really refreshing. So let's get right into it. Thank you for that, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all live on air.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, really promoted that we be like right before that break. Right before that break, we told people to come on over into Instagram Live.
Got it. Okay. All right, cool.
But you were talking about what inspired the album, the gospel album.
Yeah, well, no, I was just saying that I thought it was time. I think every season, there's different purposes and different plans, and I think it just was the right time right now to put out this gospel record.
So if you could describe it, I know it's probably hard, but if you could describe what the gospel, according to PJ, is in one word, what would that be?
Wow, the gospel according to PJ in one word, I'd say truth. If I had to pick one word, truth, yeah. Regardless of what I'm saying or what I'm expressing, I'm trying my best to be coming from a real and honest place.
Nice.
That's good. So, what favorite song did you sing growing up?
What favorite song did I sing growing up? It wasn't much of a...
Let's make it tricky. What's
Okay.
the favorite duet that you and your dad sung growing up?
That's what I was about to say. I wasn't much of a singer growing up, to be honest with you. I was on keys. I didn't start singing till much later on. I was the one that I was staying away from the mic. Yeah, I didn't want to sing. I remember I had a few youth choir solos where I was half crying because I didn't want to be singing. And I was the cool guy. I was the cool guy behind the keyboards. So we didn't really have a duet growing up, but we started singing Let Go. Once I was a songwriter and like in the business, we started singing Let Go, Let God together. And that was always super special. Yeah, but that's probably our only duet, actually. We didn't sing any other songs together. That's the only one, Let Go. Yeah.
Wow. So has he heard this project?
Yes, he has. Yeah, I brought it over to the house it was his 70th birthday this year. And we did something at the house, and I brought the album over for him to hear it. So, I got to make sure he's good. So I let him get an early listen. Yeah, exactly. Yes, indeed.
I heard, or not I heard, but I read that the album actually features a series of voice memos or something with you guys. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I did a phone call because so it was really important to me because there's so many features on this album, so many big artists on this album, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't fully lean on that, just the names, that the songs were saying something, and the songs were impactful whether they were on it or not. So one of the things that to me would tie this record together when I started to think about the gospel according to PJ, there is no gospel according to PJ without my father, right? And without his history and what he instilled in me. So when I started thinking about making a body of work, I wanted to capture our relationship. Even the fact that I didn't do a gospel album until now, and my father's still been my number one supporter, which can be a rare story sometimes when you have a preacher's kid. So I think it was important for me to have him kind of along on the journey of this album. And so we did a phone call. Really, I didn't plan it. I didn't really tell him what I was doing. I just called him up and we talked. We actually Zoomed so I could see him. And that's just our conversations. That one conversation that we had chopped up. He's a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and such a history, such a history in this music thing and in Christendom in general. So to me, it just tied the album together so perfectly, having him on there in that perspective.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You gotta ask, please.
All right.
We gotta hit New Orleans.
Yeah. So I take it your dad's still back home in Louisiana, right?
Yes, he's between here and Atlanta, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So
because he pastors both places. I'm in New Orleans.
Oh, got you. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans. Growing up in New Orleans, outside of music, what was your favorite thing to do?
Outside of music, basketball. I wanted to before I stopped growing. I wanted to hoop, and you know I still do what I can, but it wasn't gonna be any further than high school. Once my requirements just stopped. You know, I was tall in eighth grade, and then that was it. Everybody kept growing, but basketball for sure. Eat in New Orleans. You know, the food here is an event. And yeah, that's two of the big ones.
Yes. You
Hey,
know what?
Black.
This lady
I'm
did
sorry.
some type of cooking in oh my goodness. What was that? It was like food inside of a what was that? It was delicious. Y'all got some good food.
Oh
Man.
man, nah, it's special. It's special down here, man. We got some stuff for you. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, no, we got some.
Miss Jackie's bell peppers. It was
Oh
like a bell.
yeah. Oh, the bell pepper with the seafood and stuff in there, crab meat. Yeah, man. Yeah. Special. So like I said, that's an event. That's one thing I always enjoy doing here, for sure.
Yeah, that was good. I'm coming back just for that. Let me ask you something though, on a serious subject, like being from a Christian background, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the big misconception that people get as far as like you being an R&B artist and your relationship with God?
Well, I mean, I think a perfect example is people saying like, I you know, when we're talking about this album, you know, I knew he couldn't run too long, or saying, I know your parents are proud. You know, I'm like, listen, my parents have been proud. They've been proud this whole time. I'm the same person, you know. I didn't like put on a cape to write "Let Go, Let God" for Dwayne Woods, you know, and then take it off and then write my then take it off and write my R&B songs. Like I'm a total man, you know. One of the biggest misconceptions and I think misunderstandings was that you could, date someone. You know, my father had to date my mother, right? It wasn't. We don't have arranged marriages like Coming to America, you know. So my father had to date my mother, and everything that followed, right? And that's okay. That's always been accepted. I mean, it always has been. But it then becomes wrong when you decide to write a song about that process, you know. Write about that love, or write about that relationship, or write about the sky being blue. Anything outside of talking about God and his works just got put into this box of being, not God's music. And I just feel like, you know, God is the creator of all of this. And so I think the misconception was like I ran away or something. You know, I was running away from something, or that I'm not fully being a man of faith if I'm writing a love song. You know, I think I've tried my best to show that is not the case, you know. And my father always says, like, he wasn't listening to Amazing Grace when he was courting my mother. That just wasn't the vibe, you know. That just wasn't setting any mood. And we should be real about that. I think that it took a long time for people to just admit that was the truth, you know. So I was here to just tell the truth from the beginning. And now I hope that I normalize more and more that you can write your life, whatever that is. If that is talking about God right now, and that's what you're on fire, talk about that. I is beautiful today, and you want to write a song about that, write about that. If you see a woman or a man that you think looks good and you love, you know, you're falling in love with them, or you're feeling, or he hurts you or she hurts you, write about that. You can be yourself and still write about all these things. And still, you know, Kirk used to always say, if you can sing it in front of Jesus, then you're good, you know. So it's like, you know, if you're being truthful and you're being honest, then that should be it. That should be it.
That's good. So we ain't putting the mood together and putting on Shirley Stewart.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. That's not it.
loving hearing gospel goodies. Gospel goodies is just like keeping it real. Like you said, we are regular people. We still rock out to like No Limit Soldiers and things. So I wanted to know what or how has this New Orleans affected your music or influenced music at all? Like was like Lil Wayne or Master P and any of them
When I think about them, I think that they didn't necessarily influence me musically. I mean, I was signed to Young Money for an album. I released an album on Young Money, so in that sense, I was directly connected to Lil Wayne. But in the sense of my art, I think I was more affected by them as businessmen. You know, me being the way I've done it and independently built my company. You know, winning R&B Song of the Year and being nominated for R&B album 3 years in a row as a total independent with no majors, no huge machine behind us. I think that is No Limit and Cash Money, you know, being shown through me, because they set that blueprint for a lot of that independence that we, you know, before it was cool. It's cool now, but it wasn't necessarily cool before to be an independent. And I rode that, but I had good examples in Wayne and P, and I've taken that with me for sure from watching them growing up.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All day.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, the gospel according to PJ out in stores, online, really everywhere music is sold. The 28th, right?
That's right. This Friday, the 28th, we're gonna do a listening party on the 27th right here on IG. You know, and just have a good old party. And I'm gonna let everybody hear the record, and I'm gonna bring in some of the artists from the album to talk about how we recorded the songs and everything. So it's gonna be a good time. So 27th, we're gonna go into the 28th, and then everybody download and stream the album right there at midnight Thursday night, and it'll be everywhere on the 28th, that Friday. So I appreciate y'all having me and shining some light on it for sure.